Welcome back to Frostpunk. In the last episode we sent off these help missions to Hot Springs as we asked for their help against New London, and they responded quite favourably to that. But they gave us a couple of missions that we have fulfilled. We are also very comfortably resting in terms of coal, but the temperature is going to drop to -40 in 3 minutes. I like this, these temperature drops that just happens in seconds or a few minutes. We are not producing steam cores at the moment. I think we should switch to that actually, because we have 140 steel and I don't think we need more steel right off the bat. We have also rearranged our medical posts. Of course, those of you who have followed the series already know that. And we do have 39 people who are unemployed, whom I am not sure what to do with. We have people working out here at the sawmill as well. We might have to build a brazier out there, depending on how cold it is, but it will be a very temporary one if we do. Let's start up the simulation and see what happens when the temperature now drops. There we go. Okay. So it's definitely getting cold. Okay, this place out there definitely needs a brazier. Otherwise it's going to be freezing out there. As for the other buildings, I do believe we can... No, I haven't researched that yet. I'm working on it. So, until that's done, let's enable the heaters inside of the relevant buildings. We also need that insulation technology for the army warehouse now, especially since it's going to drop to -50 in 3 days. These buildings are not in use currently, so there is no need to enable the heaters in them. So, yeah. Start up. We have to finish this research. These have reached the stone wall. Let's send them up to the high pass. Seems to be a significant gap in the mountain range blocking our way. These have reached the crumbling hut, so they have to go to the ice caverns. In the icy rock wall, we see a row of entrances to the caves. We might have to beg Hot Springs for more food. I don't dare. Let's just say we need some food. Thank you. Put us at average. Exhausting it seems a bit too much. Improved blowers have been researched. That's good. Go away. Thank you. Yeah, that definitely helps. We don't need to race on that one. We don't need to race on this one. I don't think it matters if this one is cold, but that means we can turn off the heaters in those two buildings. The heater here uses 1 coal per hour, which is probably better than doubling the... No, it doesn't double it actually, it goes up to 144. Not that coal is an issue at all for us. Still, best to be on safe side. We also need to put up a new research, so we are definitely going to go with the army warehouse installation next. I don't like our wood situation at all. We have less than 200 left, so we basically have around 300 wood left. Shipment has reached Hot Springs. I believe we're still in the green on coal. Yes, we are. I hope we find a settlement that will trade coal for wood. That would be excellent. As soon as we get a second steam core, we're going to go back to steel. Your people want to build a medical post in our settlement. It's not necessary in our opinion. We have our ways of healing. The aura of the springs is a cure in itself. We don't trust engineers and their mechanical way of thinking, and we'd rather not have them around. Who can help us in many other ways? As you wish. We'd better respect these people. And they need more helping hands. Let's just send off these two. Now we have enough food for 2 days. That means we're going to stay on steam cores until we have 2 of them. The fever. Sir, a fever is spreading among our people in Hot Springs, but the locals refuse to treat them in medical posts. They say that the fever is merely a consequence of our unnatural lifestyle and offer some herbal remedies. We could threaten these nuts to make them listen to reason, or hope the outbreak will end on its own. Let's hope it will pass. Somehow I suspect this is a bad idea. But exhausting their favor is also a bad idea. Army warehouse insulation reached. That should put this at a more comfortable level. Yes, good. Then we might as well get the straddle carriers, I think. How much wood? 125. So we have 290 wood left. 200 Oh, it's 190. Oh dear. That's not ideal. Okay, they're done with this thumper as well. I don't think that that medical post is covered by this one, so we still need this one on. Scouts have reached the high pass. As we had hoped, we found a pass leading safely to the other side. There is also a sheltered place here where we could rest for a while. Busy trail. Apparently not only we found this pass to be a convenient way over the mountains. Bonfire remains and other evidence attest that people camped here. However, they all seem old. We have discovered the couloir, I believe, of the dead. The bottom of the gully is spotted with dark shapes, as if an avalanche left huge rocks lying there. We should have spare beds. 35. What's the temperature like? It's livable. That's good. And our coal situation is also still in the green, so... Scouts have reached the ice caverns. The caves might be the shelter of wild animals, but it is possible that some people hid here. Anyway, we have weapons with us. Food rations and wood. The last research. In the caves, we find frozen human corpses torn apart by wild animals. By the bodies, we found boxes with documents containing the results of some scientific research we cannot comprehend. There is no trace of animals, and there is nothing of interest for us here. We have discovered the station ruins and a little bit of food and wood. Moving on to the station ruins then. Strange devices protruding through the snow draw our attention. We think this is where the weather station once stood. Shipments have reached hot springs. Oh, that looks good. This is urgent. We need your immediate assistance. A geyser has erupted, causing damage to the crops and many injuries among both ours and your people. The burn victims need advanced treatments to survive. We don't have the proper technology, and we ask ourselves if we should have. We never needed it before your arrival. We need to send the victims to you for treatment, although it's dangerous due to the severity of their burns and the distance. We await your answer. Not enough resources. Great. We'll take care of the victims. Yeah, we would probably have required more steel for that. Hopefully they will all arrive. We can sign a new law. I think we will go with a care house. No, we'll go with extra rations for the ill. Until we have a reliable source of wood again, which I hope there is out there, I don't want to commit myself to building buildings like the care house. People are generally happy, it would seem. Yes, they are quite happy actually. We do have a lot of unemployed, but I don't really have much to do with them. Scouts have reached the couloir of the dead. As we get closer, it turns out that these are not rocks, but huge rusted cages. There are frozen bodies inside, and some lie around the cages as well. These people were killed some time ago. Their frozen bodies have been partially scavenged by animals. They lie scattered without any semblance of order or respect. Stealing here, though. No respect for masters. If we had any doubts whether the bodies were thrown here deliberately, a sign at the entrance to the gully dispels them. No man will have rule over others for all time. Convicts of Frostland. These are probably bodies of the overseers who guarded convicts working on Frostland, and these cages were used to transport convicts from place to place. Sites discovered: Shipwreck Camp and Frozen Sea, and 27 steel. Let's go to the Frozen Sea, I think. In the middle of the White Wasteland we see a wreck of a seagoing ship, so let's go to the Shipwreck Camp first. Don't need anything from us. Ah, let's change this to steel. straddle carriers researched. Allows us to use straddle carriers in the army warehouse, raising output by another 15%. Now I'm not sure if we want to research because of the wood situation. We have what we need. Advanced heaters could be good. This would be good, but 150 wood and 100 steel? I don't think so. Gathering post insulation would be good. I think we actually need to get that, but need more steel for that. These two. Maybe that one. But let's get the medical post upgrade at least, because that is very useful. $82 wood left. We've heard that the burn victims have arrived to your settlement after a long and exhausting journey. We are horrified to learn that almost half of them died on the way and the rest is in critical state. Please, help them immediately or they will die too. Establishing a safe and fast connection between our settlements would help prevent such tragedies in the future. Our people might distrust technology, but we can see its uses. We offer you steady food shipments every 2 days if you build a safe route to us. This would benefit everyone. 5 of our people died. That's unfortunate. We don't have a cemetery either, and we won't be able to sign a law for another day. Oh well, not much to do about that. We need 60 steel to build the safe route, so guess I should have forced them into doing that then. Scouts have reached the station ruins. The tall building of the meteorological station, erected by Winterhome engineers, did not survive the great storm. There's some steel and wood here. Fall from on high. Thick snow covers the broken walls and collapsed roof. Only masts with the old scientific equipment rise above them. What raw materials we could still find here are not worth the effort of wrenching them from under the ice. We've discovered the Winterhome ruins and the steel bridge. Let's take these meager resources and move up to the steel bridge first. What was that? Complaining about extended shift. You guys can keep complaining about that. So, lesson learned there. If you want to have a best possible ending here, you probably have to go with forcing them to have a medical post. Medical post upgrade have been researched. Let's get the gathering post installation next. And we need 60. I selected to get the research before this. Okay, build the safe route. While the safe route is being established, we need to reduce the risk of the next eruption. Your engineers want to flood the caves to stabilize the flow. This shall stop eruptions and might give us bigger crops, but would also destroy the cave moss we are using as a mild sedative. We'd strongly prefer to drill a borehole to lower the pressure. Eruptions will still happen from time to time, but such is the nature of this place. Okay, this time I'm gonna go with the engineers and flood the caves. We've reached the Shipwreck camp. We reached the settlement built around the shipwreck. We guess that before the arrival of Frost, there must have been a sea here. The settlement is populous, but its inhabitants meet us with distrust, even hostility. Now that's more like it. No kings, only men. Convicts were widely used on Frostland to build generators, deceived by false promises of amnesty and return home. Most of them were worked to death, carried on prison ships from one construction site to another. Some of them have rebelled, and those we met here were successful. They killed their guards, took over the ship and set up their own settlement, away from London's power. The hull of the ship, heated by steam boilers, protected them from the great storm. Hearing that we too have rebelled against our masters, they seem to warm up to us. That's great news. Let's go over to the frozen sea, and we need to go back to our settlement, and we should make another construction team, but we need 50 steel for that. That sounds like a place that might need coal. The question is, what will they offer us in return? We have reached the steel bridge. On this bridge we came across the first automaton we saw in our lives. Now we meet here a group of workers from New London. How much for the bridge? Workers are busy cutting pieces of the bridge structure. When we try talking to them, they rebuff us angrily and tell us to leave, or else. We can leave and let them work, which means the bridge will be defaced or worse. We can stop them, which will keep the bridge intact, or we can chase them away and dismantle the bridge. I assume that this will cause some problems. We don't have the best relationship in New London anyways. Let's chase them away and dismantle the bridge. No, let's stop them so that we have... chase them away and dismantle the bridge. Resources are spares. Spares, yeah. We took the resources, 59, and I got an achievement. We are lucky. And we can go to the sturdy shelter, so let's do that. According to our maps, the weather shelter for Winterhome scientists should be somewhere around here. However, we can't see anything like it. That probably wasn't a very nice decision of me, but such is the way of Frostland. Shipment has reached hot springs, that is good. Scouts have reached the frozen sea. We stand at the edge of a field of ice waves stretching to the horizon. Frozen in motion. This must have been a seashore before the sea froze during a storm. The sight is truly amazing. We can see some shape rising above the waves on the horizon. We've discovered the ghost ship. The distant shape looming among an endless ice field appears to be a ship. Gathering post installation complete. Now we could get efficient gathering, but I'm quite wary about the wood investment here. So I think we'll go with healthcare installation. Because -50 is going to be the norm here now. I don't think we need these on overtime work anymore, so let's set them to normal. And we got the achievement Bald Mountain. What is that? Cut down all the trees in Outpost 11. Okay. Right, so we're out of wood. These 86 wood is everything we have left. We want to have a new construction team. And we want to send that to the Shipwreck camp. And if they don't sell wood, we have issues. This one is waiting at the sturdy shelter. The shelter, designed to withstand the worst Arctic weather, has apparently failed to survive the great storm. Sad ending. Searching the area, we stumble upon a door handle sticking out from under the snow. Soon, we dig out the door and see the plaque attached to it. To all scientists, if you use any supplies, remember to notify the quartermaster upon your return to the city. This is all that's left of the shelter. 16 wood. Let's go down to the station ruins. We do have some wood on these guys. 48. It's not a lot. But it should be enough to send out another outpost team if required. We can no longer just send stuff to these guys. We have 2 days of food. Healthcare installation have been researched, and with that I believe that we need to stop researching. So if I were to redo this scenario, I would ignore getting steam sawmill. I would also... No, it only costs metal. Then I wouldn't ignore it. No, I probably would ignore it because it costs 25 wood to build. Vision gathering would have been nice, but we don't need it because coal piles are the only thing that we are actually gathering from currently. Gathering post installation 2 would also be nice, but we don't need that either. So the steamed coal thumper would also be nice, but we couldn't afford building it. And we also, again, have enough coal. Advanced heaters would also be good, but yeah. We're not going to research anything, so we're going to take the engineers out of the workshops. We could probably scavenge a couple of these, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's scavenge the 2 down here. We can sign a new law. We need to sign the cemetery law. Upgraded transport depot. That's nice. Does require wood though. Cemetery costs 10 wood. Let's build that out here. And we've maxed out hope. What was that? Oh. We are really grateful for all the work and supplies you provided. We'd like to ask you to solve an issue, though. Your people are disturbed by the sight of our dead, whose frozen bodies we stored to compost them later. They want to build a cemetery and bury them like in the old times. This is not our way. We want to respect the wishes of our dead to be returned to the circle of life, not trapped in the permafrost forever. Will you help us prepare a composting pit for them? Actually, yes, we will, because that might give us more food. But that probably requires wood. Now I have to watch this thing occasionally glow blue. Scouts have reached the ghost ship. It is indeed a ship trapped forever in the frozen sea. The broken ice around it rises in dramatic waves. A cargo of shame. The ship carried hundreds of convicts whose bodies are still locked in cells. But the crew did not abandon them. We found their remains in their quarters. There's still plenty of food aboard. We could take it, although we can't be sure what was the cause of the death of the crew and the convicts. That seems very much like a trap, so we'll leave them. And let's go back home. Cemetery has been established. I don't know if that means that we will actually bury the people that died earlier. That remains to be seen, I guess. These guys have reached there, so send them to the Winterhome ruins. We do have plenty of steel, but... Okay, let's make that composting pit then. This one probably is better, though. Yeah, let's do the infrastructure repairs. Can you... Okay, so they have to do that. Fine. 8 wood. Sheesh. We have 40 vacant beds. We do get some wood back if we tear down houses. Where do we have... I mean, we have so many beds available. Okay, so this one. This one. This one. And this one, and we should have 0 vacant beds. And that'll give us some wood as well, which we badly need. That should be 32 wood, so we would be up to 40. Scouts have reached the Winterhome ruins. I need to pause the game here. Okay, let's start with the scouts. The ruins of a city brought down by inept rule of a selfish and incompetent leader, and finally destroyed by the explosion of its badly operated, irreparably damaged generator. We didn't think we would ever return here. Monument of Ignorance. Oh wow. Those who managed to flee left long ago, and we have no idea what happened to them, apart from some of the evacuated children who found shelter in New London. Winterhome has become a monument to the human ignorance and hubris, and its destruction is being completed by nature. The great storm covered the ruins with snow and ice, and only the regular patterns of mounds and depressions remind us that this white shroud covers the work of human hands. We've discovered the children's mine and the destroyed automaton. Let's take the resources. And I actually think that I want to send them back, because they have a lot of resources that we could use. Can sign a new law. Care house costs 25 wood, so we're not going to sign that. 1 day, 12 hours. Let's sign the ceremonial funerals. Funerals. Okay, so they did bury them. Fancy burials? Who has the time for that? We do. These guys. We can build a trading depot here. Thanks to this trading depot you've built, we can help each other survive. One more thing. What's up, New Paris? Speak your mind. We have some problems. Can you help us? Ah, they do trade in wood. We need some wood. You've got some nerve. Alright, we can do it for you, but you'll owe us big time. Thank you. Okay, so what do these guys trade in? Coal and food. Let's provide some health care for them and raise food availability and also improve the acquisition of resources and trade some resources for wood. No, we're going to get 150 wood from them now. Okay, well, that definitely helps. Then we can also do a composting pit for these guys. I'll probably forget about that accent. Shipment has reached Hot Springs. Good. Hold on here. Hot Springs. We have some problems. Can you help us? Would you send us some food, please? Thank you. And we still got average favor with them. And these are probably... Oh, a child's plea. Captain, we found a boy frozen to the bone in the cemetery next to a fresh grave. He must have been there for hours. He wants you to call an emergency meeting. He says that if you agree, his mother will wake up to attend it. He must face his loss. Use a little bit of hope. We need to upgrade this. And we also need to build camps out on the safe route to Hot Springs. Okay. Well, we need the wood to arrive first. This is an interesting dynamic. You have to trade with both of the settlements to be able to trade with both of the settlements. It is rather chilly, but it's Scouts have returned with food rations and steel. Let's send them down to Winterhome ruins. Burial ceremony is starting at the cemetery. Very good. Shipment has reached Hot Springs. Shipment is reached, so now we have lots of wood. That's good. That means we can upgrade this, which is necessary. We'll do that. And we cannot do anything there until that has been upgraded. This place needs the heater on. We know you have your own problems, but we have no one else to turn to. A disease is spreading among our people, and some of them will die if they don't get medical help that we can't provide. They would risk traveling to your settlement if you agree to cure them. In exchange for your help, they are willing to stay and work for you. They are great workers, more than willing to pull their weight after they recover. Yeah, we will cure them. And we can put engineers back into research now. And we can start researching a factory, so we can build prostheses since we have 2 amputees. Did we ever get that care home though? No, we didn't. I think we'll flip this over to do both. And it's the morning of day 21, where the temperature is going to rise. Let's put these back on extended work hours. There we go. And with that, I think it is time to end the episode here. So, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.